If you have become comfortable discovering ancestors who need ordinances, printing their cards and taking them to the temple, you're probably ready to begin phase 2, where you gather information in between the discovery and connection process. In phase 1, you discover and then connect without gathering in between. In phase 2, you discover, then gather, and then connect. This approach is more fun and more rewarding. Once we discover ancestors who may need ordinances, we should spend a little time getting to know them and see if we can improve the information that's posted about them. We could ask ourselves questions like, can we correct or complete birth, marriage, and death dates and places? Is there information we need in sources that are already listed on the person page that has simply been ignored? Can we add record hints or sources from partner sites that provide and prove information about our relative? Can we find missing members of our relative's family, spouse, child, parents? Are there data problems that we can fix? Standardization, obvious mistakes, duplicates. When we discover green temples and complete the identified ordinances, we remove the neon sign that beckons people to come to our relative's person page. If we could have easily found a spouse, child, or parents, but ran our person to the temple without doing so, we make it less likely that others will discover our ancestors and complete their family. If you're going to engage in the gathering process, there's some tools that you'll need to be able to use. You need to be able to review posted sources. It's amazing how many times people add sources to a person page but don't use the information found in the sources. For instance, there are marriage documents and there are parents listed in the marriage document, but people don't add the parents from that marriage source. They just add the date of the marriage. There's children on a census record that weren't noticed and weren't added to the person. So you want to see if there's information already available in the posted sources that you can glean out and add to your person. You want to become competent at posting record hints. Record hints are a wonderful blessing to family historians nowadays. The church has its computer with its advanced search engine go through and look over the billions of records that Family Search has indexed, find likely matches for your person, and then post that record hint right there on the person page for you to determine for sure if it's a correct source and then add it. These record hints are 97% accurate. In other words, in 97% of the cases, the source does match the person that the computer has designated for it. So that's a great blessing and something we want to get good at posting and using. You also want to get to where you can, at least in a rudimentary way, gather sources from partner sites like Ancestry, MyHeritage, Find My Past, and American Ancestors. You want to be able to add or change information that's on the person page. You want to standardize information. Standardizing information means that the formatting in the information that's been typed in isn't able to be recognized by the computer. And so it's more than just having a uniform look and conforming to a kind of formatting. There's times where the computer, just for whatever reason, says, I can't read what's written there, and therefore I can't use that information to go and find you more record hints. And so we want to standardize, yes, to be in conformity throughout the tree, but also to make it so that our search engine is empowered as much as possible. We want to be able to add family members. You'll discover people and you want to know how to add them to your individual's family. A very important skill is merging duplicates, because you'll be surprised how often you will find a duplicate, especially after you start adding in information and sources. Then a new duplicate will appear, and you would have taken this person to the temple, but the duplicate that's been found had already had the temple work done, and you would have just been duplicating work. Finally, the last skill that you'll need is to be able to know how to go and get help when you run into something that you just don't know how to do. There are times where the ordinances that are listed, you can't understand why you can't request them. It appears that all the information that's needed is there, and yet there's a message that you need to contact Family Search if you want to request those ordinances. And so you need to be able to know how to contact Family Search and get the help that you want. The important thing to stress at this point is gathering in between discovery and connection empowers you, and it will change this from being a clerk's job to being a detective's job, and you'll come to love it so much more. It's not that hard to master these skills, but once you've mastered them, you will love helping your ancestors have the ordinances that they need when they're ready for those ordinances.